Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
Yes, and that demand is lacking that we're sat here in the cold for you.
Yes.
And it is cold.
Yes,
Winter
yes.
has happened.
Yes, it has. And when this podcast becomes less lacking, we'll be able to afford to put the heating on.
Yeah, absolutely. How's your week in gaming been?
Been really good.
Yeah?
I completed a game. Oh!
Yeah, like, it's been a big week for 128. It's such a shocking week that I even actually tweeted it out. I used Twitter.
Wow.
Or X.
X.
Actually, talking of which, I set up a Blue Sky page for us.
Is that Paul McCartney?
You don't know what Blue Sky is, do you?
Yeah, Paul McCartney? Yeah, no. It's not. No, it's not even Paul McCartney.
It's like an alternative to Twitter.
Okay.
Or X, as it's now called. Because, you know, like, loads of people like really dislike where that's gone.
Yeah.
So someone made like another version.
Okay.
And it's just less toxic.
Yeah, okay.
It's actually quite nice, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Quite a nice place to hang out.
Nice.
So I made a Blue Sky page for us. So, you know, come and follow us there.
I'm not there.
Andy doesn't care.
I don't even know what it is. And I even got my song reference wrong. It's ELO, isn't it?
Mr. Blue Sky.
I was thinking of Bluebird from the Wings.
Oh, dear.
But don't worry.
Yeah, well, that's a random reference.
Incredibly random.
Yeah, so I put it out on there as well. So I'm going to be using that. If you want to follow us there, please do.
I might check it out.
Yeah, do you want to follow us there?
Yeah, I might follow us
I'll
there.
even give you the login if you want. You can use it.
To follow our own account with.
It's been such a shocking week at 128 KB.
Yes.
Big things have happened.
Yeah, the biggest thing is AJ got good at COD.
It was found out eventually.
It was.
Enough hours. I mean, you say good. Let's temper
the positive.
More
than
temper everyone's expectations. But on 2 rounds this week,
wow,
I've had a positive kill death ratio.
That's amazing.
I know.
Well done.
Thanks very much. Yeah, thank you. I think I finally figured out what the key to it is.
Oh yeah.
There's 2 things.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
The first is to actually know where you're going.
Yes,
the
maps
is really important.
That is a big thing.
The second thing is to keep moving.
Yes. Yeah. Don't
which
stop.
kind of feeds into the first thing. Because when you don't know where you're going, you kind of just stay there and like, I'll stay here, I guess. Maybe just stay here.
Just AFK, just stood in the corner.
And so often I would like go around a corridor, like go into a room and just be like, I'll be like the Blair Witch Project, just staring at the corner of a room.
Stood in the corner.
Blair Witch in it. People coming in like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah. Just try and freak him out.
Like, oh, he's dead. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm now like full sprinting around. And I've got to say, Black Ops 6.
So good.
So much better than the previous.
Best one they've done so far.
I was talking to someone else about this. Someone who's like really into Call of Duty the other day. And they did say the Black Ops games always tend to be better.
Okay.
I was like, I haven't experienced that myself, but okay.
Yeah.
But this particular Call of Duty release does feel like it just feels way more natural. Feels way more fluid.
Yeah.
They've just really the tweaks they've done to the movement just feel really nice.
Yeah.
When I very first loaded up the game, I'm one of those weird people that does the tutorial.
I did.
You did the tutorial too?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I noticed that when you get the trophy for doing it, it was only like 5% of people had done this. So I was like, oh, right, okay. So I did that. And at first, I have to admit, I did struggle with the new movement mechanics.
How about if you played the tutorial, that one where you have to jump off the ledge, spin
and shoot the guy?
I took like 10, 15 tries on that.
I'm so glad you did as well.
I was like, how do I do this? I was like, why am I broken?
I was like, but I'm spinning it and it's not spinning. And you don't have to spin it at all. You just have to like turn.
Yeah.
But,
oh no, I could like jump and turn.
Yeah.
But I couldn't shoot the guy at the same time.
It was hard.
I was like, I don't understand. And in the end, I was making it too complicated.
Yes, same. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the end, I did it. I was like, oh, is that all they want
I
me
did
to
it by
do?
accident. I was like, that was a mistake. I'm gonna have to. And so I went until I actually figured it out.
Yeah.
And I kept like, no, I'm gonna redo it.
Yeah. Nice.
And there was another one that was unnecessarily tricky, which was because you've got like omni movement when you're on your back, and you can go, you either go prone or on your back,
like
whatever.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And there was like loads of people appearing all around you.
Yeah, I died on that.
It took me ages.
It took me about 3 goes on that one.
Yeah, I was like,
well, I didn't know where they're coming from at first, so I'm just there waiting, and then someone from like behind me killed me. I was
shot.
like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Once you get over that, I'm so glad you struggled with that as well.
I did, yeah.
I thought, am I that bad at this game that I can't even complete the tutorial?
Yeah. Even I thought, okay, this is going to suck because this is really hard.
Yeah.
But actually playing is amazing.
It's genuinely good, and I'm having fun in Call of Duty again, which that I've missed.
Yes,
I've missed being into a shooter game and actually enjoying it. Like I say, I've always been a Battlefield fan.
Yes, yeah.
They have been lacking in recent times.
I can't even think when they brought out the last one. It feels like years ago.
It was the 2040, whatever it is. It was a couple of years ago. But they're always like a few years between their releases. They're not a every year kind of company.
No, it's normally like 4 or 5 years, isn't it?
There was a few weeks back, there was one of the development leads was talking about what to expect from the new Battlefield game when it does come out. And that they're kind of going back to what Battlefield was.
Okay, yeah.
Which is nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they started introducing like different class systems, and that didn't feel right. And also like huge like mosh pit style game modes where it's like 100 and something players in a lobby. Was it 64 times 2?
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know, the big numbers.
Yes, big number 64 times 2, 128.
There we go.
There you go. 128 KB. That's why you wanted to be said, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm sure it's 128. It's around that number anyway.
It is now.
Yeah. It's just like 60 odd players aside. And like you're saying, are we just making it big for the number's sake? Does it actually add anything? And it doesn't. It makes it too a little bit too hectic. And the whole idea of Battlefield, and I may be wrong in this, I might just be like old-fashioned about it, but in my mind, the whole idea of Battlefield was that it's a shooter that was a bit slower.
Yeah.
And a little bit more thought out. That
more tactical.
More tactical. You have to behave like a team.
Yes.
When you're in a squad, you have to communicate and you have to like do objectives together. And that was the whole point. Whereas Call of Duty is just more of an arcade.
Rambo.
Rambo. Like everyone for themselves. Let's go.
Yeah.
The new Warzone dropped yesterday, I think it was, at the time of recording this.
Okay.
So that actually ages this really badly. I've just realised.
Yeah.
Recently.
I'm not a Warzone guy.
No. Battle Royales.
Nah. I'm all about Rambo.
Well, I liked the idea of Warzone because it was a bit more Battlefield-like.
Yeah. I get why people like it.
I just don't like... I know you can play Resurgence and you respawn. It just feels really drawn out.
Yeah. I just don't like it. I prefer the fast-pacedness of just standard hardcore team deathmatch.
Hardcore team death. And do you know what? I've not been playing hardcore. I'm sorry. I know. I love hardcore. But what I kind of figured out, one of my frustrations was I'm not getting enough time to figure out the movement, to figure out the maps as well.
Yeah.
Because it's just dying so quickly.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, for me, I'm the opposite. Like, I find on standard mode, it just frustrates me because I can't kill anyone. Yeah. Because everyone takes like Rambo. 9 shots to the head. Yeah. They're all on like steroids or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so frustrating. Yeah. Whereas on hardcore, my current favorite thing is actually to use the pistol because it's overpowered as hell. 1 shot, 1 kill guaranteed.
I would like in like a hardcore style mode, but that the damage you take would be not realistic, but things like if you shoot them in the limbs or something, it slows down their movement.
Yeah.
That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
So they're not just like tanks. And everyone takes like 4 shots roughly to die. Like you shoot them in the leg and they can't sprint anymore.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. Or you shoot them in the hand and they can't hold the gun up properly.
Yeah, but they've still got a chance to heal or get away.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool.
Yeah. Like in between core and hardcore, basically.
Yeah, the realism mode.
I think it would annoy everyone.
Yeah, because everyone would just be shooting people in the feet and watching loads of people crawling around the map.
I've got a really toxic trait in Call of Duty at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Super toxic trait. So, on my loadout... But very specific noob tubing.
Okay.
Right. So, in my loadout, I've got the RPG.
Yes.
But the RPG's got a scope on it.
Okay.
Which makes this kind of fun. Not like a proper scope, like a 2x scope or something.
Okay, right, got you.
It's noob tubing snipers. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
So there's like certain maps where there's like, you know where the pinch point's always going to be.
Yeah.
And there's one, it's set in the Middle East. And I can't think what it's called, but anyway, there's always a pinch point. It's outside a building, and there's like a foyer and some cars and stuff. But there's also 2 buildings overlooking
it. Yeah.
And if the snipers always end up on the roof opposite, and they're picking people off. So if you go into the opposite building
and just nail them with an RPG,
you see that scope light up, you're like, yeah, you're getting it.
I can see why that's fun.
It's so much fun because you're like sticking it to them.
It's so frustrating to
get
noob.
Yeah, I know.
But that's what I found with the pistol thing, because we were getting frustrated with like SMGs.
Yes.
The bullet impact, even on hardcore, sometimes you'd get a hit marker, which would totally be a kill.
Yeah.
But then they would end up killing you. And it's like, really? Whereas with the pistol, it is one shot, one kill. It means you have to be super accurate.
Yeah, you've got to call your shots better.
But you can nail like so many people. I was getting so many more kills because I was being more precise with it. But then after a while, I think the game figured out like, okay, you're just using a pistol. It started putting me into maps where everyone just had pistols. I was like, okay, like if that's how you want to play, like fine. I preferred like shooting all the people spray and praying, and I'm just like one shot kill. But whatever.
You were John Wick in it.
Yeah.
Do you think that if I keep noob tubing people, that it's going to put me in maps?
Yeah, just everyone's RPGs
only.
Yeah, that'd be quite funny.
What game was that? It was a mode. It was RPGs only. It's like a fun old game. I want to say it was maybe even GoldenEye back in the day.
Okay, maybe.
Because you could have like pistols only.
Yes.
You could have.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know on PC, I think I'm getting this right. Back in the day, you could join servers that were like specific gun only.
Yeah.
Like on Call of Duty and stuff on PC. And that was quite funny because it would just be like only this type of
melee
weapon.
only.
Yeah. So just this weapon.
Kind of terrifying.
So yeah, it was quite fun.
Yeah, it's good fun. There's some maps that are better than others.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Nuketown?
I haven't played it yet. I haven't done it yet.
Oh.
No. Yeah, no. Christina's been playing it. But I think it's its own mode, isn't it?
24/7.
Yeah. And it's not just like hardcore.
You can have it in. It will randomly select.
Not,
and
it's not giving it to me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
right. It's fun. It's one of those maps where because it's so small.
Yes.
It's just I think it's fun once. In a cycle.
Yeah. But if it pops up, then it's fine.
Yeah, but there was one you can select it so it just loads Nuketown over and over again.
Yes, yeah. But it's random like games, isn't it? It's not just and that's what I didn't like about it. Yeah, I don't want all of that. I just want to kill people.
Are you just straight up I quite like Hardpoint.
I don't do anything other than hardcore team deathmatch. When I go to the hardcore mode, I deselect everything other than hardcore. So it just runs hardcore.
Just TDM.
TDM over and over and over again. That's all I play. Just that.
Yeah, no, I quite like I don't like kill confirm.
No.
Where you have to pick up the dog tags.
What's the point of that? I've killed them.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
It's confirmed.
Yeah, they're dead. They've respawned. It's over. That's kind of annoying. The reason I like Hardpoint and the whatever the capture the flag mode's called, I can't even think. You don't play it, so you don't know. Is that exactly where pinch points are going to happen.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone's converging on these places.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's kind of fun. Because sometimes in the slightly bigger maps, you will have those moments where you seemingly just can't find anyone.
Yeah,
you've got that. You're just wondering,
yeah, that's true.
Where is everyone?
Yeah, that is true.
And they just happen to be moving opposite
the exact opposite. Yeah, that is frustrating. Yeah, that is frustrating. So yeah, I get what you mean, but I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. I don't know why. I just think I like TDM, and that's just what it's.
The only ones I dislike are the free for all.
Oh God, yeah, that's annoying.
I think it's annoying because I'm not very good.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerve-wracking because everyone's out for me.
Yeah, but it's also, you can't like follow a map or hunt a team. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just anyone goes and it's kind of annoying.
And there's like tactical things you can do with your team. You can obviously, you can follow people. You can see what they're doing.
Yes.
You get the TAC map a little bit. You don't on hardcore, but you can see where firing's happening and stuff.
Yeah.
The other one that does my head in is, what's the one with the bomb? Detonate or something.
I don't know.
Where your team either has to set a bomb at a marker and let it go off, or you have to defuse it and defend the area.
Yeah, cool.
No.
Hardcore. Team
because you don't respawn in that game mode either.
Oh, okay.
So it's 4v4.
Oh, but you die.
And you die.
Oh, nah.
It's kind of annoying. So you can win just by taking out all the other opponents.
I just prefer Rambo mode.
Just Rambo mode. That's the fun mode.
That's the one I do.
Yeah, it's good.
It's because I don't know. It's just what I've always loved.
Yeah.
And I just stick with what I like.
So that's the first big news of 128 KB this week.
Yes.
The second, I think, kind of earth-shattering, monumental, changing how the tides work.
I know.
Is Andy... You've broken one of the covenants of 128 KB.
I know.
One of the bingo card call-outs.
Yes.
You completed a game.
I know. And it was one that I wasn't even already playing. I dropped everything else I was playing and started a new game and then 100%ed it.
Yeah. So, actually, you've still not completed Star Wars Outlaws.
No, because it's broken on PC. Can't play it because Ubisoft's up.
I stand by my bet that you'll never complete that game.
Well, if they never fix it, then no, I won't.
I reckon by the time it's fixed, you'll have lost interest.
Probably. I'm getting there already.
Yeah. You started Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yes.
Did you start it just handheld?
Yes.
On the Ally X?
Yes.
And you completed it?
Yeah, I completed it. 100%. Everything.
I thought you were just playing this game to test out your eGPU.
I was, yeah.
That was it.
Well, it started with, I had an evening to myself, and my dog's just like asleep. I couldn't get up to put my Ally into the eGPU to, turn it on because I thought, he's asleep. I can't be bothered to get up. And I'm just sat here. So I've got the TV just playing random stuff for the dog. And I was like, I'll play a game. So I picked up my Ally X. And then I remember you saying a while back that Spider-Man 2 is coming out on PC in January. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm a big Venom nut. I've got like hundreds of comics. And I was like, I want to play that because I didn't get to play it on PlayStation. So I was like, I'll buy it on PC. But I was like, but I probably should play Miles Morales like first because, we played through the first game, completed that, but I didn't play it. Christina did. And she loved it. So I was like, well, I've got Miles Morales on Steam already. I bought it on sale, never played it, that kind of thing.
Typical thing.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to install this. Just give it a go. I was like, I could test it on the eGPU when I get a chance to. Wasn't even expecting it to run very well, like handheld.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like 1080p, like medium settings, getting like 60 FPS. The game is so good. Like it's a testament to how good like PlayStation games are, because in the back of my mind, I always think, all the Spider-Man games are the same. They're all the same mechanic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they all look the same.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And that's not a bad thing, but that's just how I have it in my mind. So I just thought, I wasn't overly fussed to play it, but I loaded it up on the Ally X and I was gripped. Like the intro to it, like everything. I love Miles. Like I love like how the story is set. And the gameplay is phenomenal.
I think it's a really good testament to not dismissing games until you've had a chance to try them.
Absolutely that, yeah. And the other thing is obviously it's got the big stamp of approval, which is basically like Valve's like certified of Nixies. Nixies.
I don't know how you say it.
I still don't know.
But when they touch a PC port from PlayStation,
it's going to be gold, isn't it?
It's gold. It is a PlayStation Studio, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's owned by them.
Yeah.
They just do magical work.
Yes.
It does look phenomenal. I didn't play it, but from what you showed it to me on the Ally X.
Yeah, I showed it to your handheld here, didn't I? Yes.
It looks amazing.
So good.
But I, like you, had dismissed the Spider-Man games because I was like,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And now I feel stupid because obviously everyone that was really excited by them was right.
Yeah, they are right. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with them.
And it's made me consider my attitude slightly towards game franchises that I've not touched.
Absolutely, I agree.
And that maybe I've been a bit closed-minded.
I've been exactly the same.
And not giving PlayStation enough credit for the games that they have released.
Yes.
That I've not touched. And I'm thinking specifically about Horizon.
Yes.
It's a franchise that I've always just looked at and gone, I'm not really that fussed by it.
Me too. And I bought it on PS4.
Yeah.
And it was sealed up until the point that I sold my PS5 a few months ago.
Here's the thing. Being a huge PlayStation fan, all the PlayStation games I've got, I've never bought. Yeah. That's how unfussed I was about the Horizon franchise in general.
Yes.
I've not even bought one.
Do you not have it at all?
No, I don't think I've ever bought it. Oh. I may be wrong. Maybe one of those stupid ones I bought and never played.
Yeah,
but
I feel like that's the
pretty sure I've never bought it.
Not too sure. I'm sure that would have been the case. Otherwise, I would have given you my copy before I sold it for like 3 pence.
Well, even when you have the option of having it free, I wasn't even that bothered.
Yes, yeah.
That's how unfussed I was.
Yeah, I was the same though. I was like, looks kind of cool, but I don't know if I'm going to be like into it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know. Like there was some sort of weird like meh about it, you know? And I think because I've given it a chance now with the remaster, which is phenomenal, by the way, even though it's so stupid that they've remastered a game that's only like, you know, a few years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is amazing. Like it looks incredible on the eGPU setup on the TV. And that's the thing, like with the Miles Morales thing, I started playing it handheld and then I played almost the entire game on the eGPU setup on the 4K, you know, 77-inch. And I was like, this is incredible. Like it looks so good, ran so well at 4K and stuff. Completed it like by surprise for myself as well. I wasn't even aiming to. I was just having that much fun that I just ended up doing everything and completing it. Once I'd completed it, I was like, I feel like I need to give Horizon a chance because I paid for the upgrade for the remastered edition and I wanted to get some benchmarks for one of my Ally eGPU videos. And I loaded up the game and I played like the first, let's say hour, probably a bit less. And I was just like jaw dropped with how stunning the game is, how good the story building is in the intro, how good the gameplay was. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've only played the intro, but I'm totally going to go and play through that like soon. It looks phenomenal. And I feel the same way. I don't think I've given the PlayStation Studio games enough credit.
Yeah, absolutely that. And maybe it's like a new franchise thing that I see new editions and I'm a bit dubious to invest into them.
Yeah.
I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but I feel like I kind of have to admit that here, that maybe I've been a bit harsh on stuff or just not given things enough time. And I think part of the problem is that now we get very little chance, not just me and you, I mean just gamers in general get very little chance to experience things without buying them.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas like in the past, I'm thinking you had word of mouth, so you could share games with each other. So like you showing me Miles Morales on the LIX.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd experienced it like in the flesh and gone, oh wow, that's actually really good. Yeah. That doesn't translate in video as well.
No, just watching a YouTube video doesn't mean nothing.
It's like, it's a Spider-Man game, same thing. But when you actually experience it, you go, oh, it's quite cool actually. Yeah. We don't have game stores anymore. No. Where you'd go in and you have staff members like telling you what's hot, what's not. So that kind of like in-person advice. Yes. Also in game stores, you could go in and you could try games. They quite often have demos playing. You could get hands-on and go, oh, it is really cool. Yes. And obviously the other one we've talked about a lot that I really miss is demo discs. Yes. Like there's something about there being a forced selection of here's 4 games to try this month. Yeah. And getting hands-on with it. That would get you really excited. That's how I experienced almost all of the PlayStation games for the first time. Yeah,
same. When I was a kid, I just had racks of like PlayStation demos. Yeah, and
eventually you go, I'm definitely going to buy. I always think about Resident Evil 2 with that. It's a really good example. Yes. That demo, I remember playing that so much until I could finally get the game. Yes. So that hands-on experience of new things, it doesn't happen in the same way that it used to.
No, not at all.
And I know on occasion the platforms sometimes have demos available.
I've seen more games now starting to give demos on Steam than ever before. It never really used to be a big thing.
But I'm thinking about like the mainstays like PlayStation, Xbox.
No, they don't give you demos.
But what are they holding back? Why not?
I don't know.
Or is it just something that isn't needed anymore and we're in the minority, which is seeming possible?
Yeah, that's probably the case. They're probably, because they're big hyped things, like direct from, this is Sony, here is our game. Like, and everyone's like, oh my God. Like, you know, so they just go out and buy it because they think it's going to be great. And most likely it is. You know, and that was the same with even The Last of Us. I held off that for ages because it released on PS3.
PS3, yep.
I didn't buy it until just before the PS5 came out. And then I played it, like start to finish, completed that, believe it or not, was blown away. So then we got the PS5 and then Last of Us Part 2 came out.
I've not done it yet.
Have you not?
No, I've done the first part. And that was, like you, it was like halfway through the PS4 era I was playing that.
Yeah.
And again, it took me ages to go like, oh, okay, everyone's talking about this. I'll give it a go. And it's amazing.
Yeah. It took us a long time. And then Part 2 came out, bought it day one on PS5, played it start to finish, didn't stop until we completed it. Fantastic game. And again, that's PlayStation. So I think people just see a new PlayStation IP or a new entry and just go, yes.
Bingo card moment. Final Fantasy Rebirth did have a demo.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
There was 2 whole chapters of the game.
But that's
in the
not
demo.
PlayStation, is it? That's Square.
Or 2 whole areas. Yeah, I know it's not. But I'm thinking like it was a AAA release, and yet they did do a demo, and I don't know why they did, because that game was going to do well with the fans of Final Fantasy anyway.
Yeah, true. And it's not actually done that well, has it?
No, it really hasn't.
Demo's fault. Everyone played demo before it sucked, so they didn't buy it.
I think the PS5 Pro might help it.
Yes.
Because that looks like it's a night and day experience between that and the original PS5.
It's bad that I want a PS5 Pro.
The thing is, we've only got each other as a support network here.
We're just as bad as each other.
Yeah. And I'm now seeing the hands-on reviews of the PS5 Pro. Digital Foundry did an amazing deep dive.
Yeah.
IGN actually did quite a good review.
Wow. That's
even
unbelievable.
Yeah, even beat 'em ups did.
Oh yeah.
I watched his video the other day. It was actually really good for someone who's very like on the surface about stuff. Doesn't really dive in. He has some really good points, but really kind of showing it at its best. And you go, oh damn, these games look amazing.
Yeah.
I kind of want a PS5 Pro now. So I turn to you to dissuade me from these things.
And I'm like, get one.
No, Andy, I don't want to. It's so expensive.
Yeah, it's
I've already got a PS5.
Yeah, that's good for trading in though.
God's sake. But yeah,
that's like a free voucher against the price.
The problem I do have is that I don't think I would want to play. Maybe I would Final Fantasy VII again. Maybe I would. Yeah, it's such a big game. It feels kind of like
I get you.
Tiring to get back into that.
Yeah, I get you.
And I've got another problem that I was going to address in this episode is that I've started to plan ahead for my end of year / start of next year gaming resolutions.
Oh yes,
I had a big one at the start of this year, 2024. I'll remind you in case you forgot. And that was to stop buying old games that I'm never going to play.
Yes, that was mine too.
So we had a problem of buying retro games and just sticking them on a shelf.
Yes.
As told by the background of your videos, the background of these videos, they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to stop doing that and I'm just going to buy new games. The problem is, I've not been playing that many new games.
No.
I've just not. So,
well, you have. It's just all been on Game Pass.
It has all been on Game Pass.
You've just turned into Game Pass here.
So I've just turned into an Xbox monster.
Yeah.
And truthfully, there's a lot of games that I've missed this year, and actually, when I think about it, in previous years too.
Yeah, same.
That I really need to play. That I really want to play. Sorry.
Yes.
So I've actually started to draw up a list of games I have to play.
Yes.
So that's going to be my resolution going forward for the end of this year. I'm not a big one for New Year's resolutions. I just kind of like, there's a new year coming. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
So there's a list of games I have to play. So the idea of going back and playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth kind of feels stupid when there's a whole other
loads of other stuff,
loads of other stories I want to experience.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think mine's the same. Of next year is the year I actually want to go through and play some of my backlog of stuff that I need to play.
Yeah.
And especially or specifically all these PlayStation games that I've missed, like Horizon.
Like Horizon.
Like
on the list.
I specifically didn't buy 2 when it came out on PC because I was like, no, I've got the first one, and I feel like it'd be stupid for me to buy the second one when I haven't even started the first one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm not even going to bother because by the time I get round to it, it'll be cheaper. Do you know what I mean? So I'll just do that. So I feel like I want to do that.
Should I be doing it on the PS5 Pro?
Yes.
Oh God.
It's the only way. You haven't even played Ratchet and Clank.
No.
And that's a fantastic game.
I've played it. I've just not played it through.
Yeah. So, there's that. You've got Astrobot that you could play on a PS5 Pro. All that kind of stuff. I want to play through, like Spider-Man's given me the drive to go, I just want to complete these games. Yeah. And the funny thing is, just to sidetrack, when I started Spider-Man, I went, I'm just going to play the story.
Yeah.
And I was like, be like 8 hours. I even Googled, how long is it? And it was like 8 hours. I was like, I can do that. That's, I'll be fine.
It's a few nights.
Yeah. And then I 100%ed it. But that...
You actually 100%ed it?
Yeah. I sent you the thing, didn't I? It was 100% complete. But yeah, that's given me the drive to go, no, I want to play Horizon. I want to play the God of War remakes.
Yes.
I'm hold my hands up. I've only ever played the original God of Wars. And I've not played the revamp from 2018 or wherever it was. I haven't played the new ones. I've only played the old ones. Like, the really old ones. So I want to play God of War. I want to play Horizon.
Can I just say one that we both need to do?
Yeah, what's that?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. We haven't even... I don't even have that now. I had it on PlayStation. And it was sealed when I got rid of it.
Yeah, I've still got it, a PS4 version of it.
Yeah, well, I'd buy it on PC, obviously.
Of course, there's a whole DLC to it. Talking of DLCs as well, moving over to Xbox, Starfield has got DLC, the Shattered Space. I've not even bought that.
No.
But I don't know how much I can be bothered to play that.
Yeah, I get you.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks like they've taken all the best bits of Starfield and kind of condensed it into like a proper concentrated area.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
And Starfield, when it was at its best, was in those moments of like concentration.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
When it leaned into the horror.
Yeah, that was my favourite bit.
The horror moments. I'm not really into horror games, but those moments were really cool.
Yeah, that was fantastic. It gave me such like alien vibes.
Yeah, proper.
I loved those.
Absolutely that. When there was concentrated action, there was like standout moments. There was like the horror sections. There was the missions where you're having to either side with the pirates or against the pirates. That was so cool. It had such a good climax, that mission.
Yeah.
And the aliens, what do they call them in that game? Terramorphs?
Terramorphs, yes. Yeah, that was it.
But because I'd sunk so many hours into that game, the idea of going back...
Yeah, after quite a long time. Yeah. I get you. I haven't even finished it yet, Starfield, like the main thing. And even I struggle to go back. Like I have tried a couple of times. There's been an odd weekend where I'm like, yeah, I'll play a bit of Starfield.
It's hard to get back into the game.
Yeah, like I really enjoy it. I think it's a great game. Like I do. But I'm just like, I'm not in it now. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It doesn't have the same draw as their other games, does it?
No.
Bethesda, which is...
No, maybe I'll go back at some point. But to me, I'm like, I really love these very concentrated story experiences, which... PlayStation are giving. And that's the thing is I'm so for like a linear, very story-driven experience.
Yeah.
Like even to the point, I know Spider-Man's open world, but I felt more like it was like that.
It's open world in the best way, as in like you can do anything you want, go anywhere you want, just swing around if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it guides you very specifically.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I loved. And I'm like, that's what all these PlayStation games are going to be giving.
Yeah.
You know, they've always been so good at giving an experience.
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us. Phenomenal game, you know?
What's exciting about that going forward, I know that's not what we're talking about today, but here we are. What's exciting about that going forward is the PlayStation CEO came out talking about this, or one of the head honchos for PlayStation, talking about their focus for games going forward.
Yes.
And that it's going to be about single player narrative games.
Finally.
Yeah. And that they've learned from the mistake of Concord. I love that game.
Oh, I love that game because it's put them back on track.
Yes.
I would have absolutely hated it if Concord did well.
It'd be awful.
Because that would have changed the dynamic at PlayStation.
Yeah.
And they would have just been searching these freaking
live service games.
Yeah, and I hate that. Get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's other games for that. Do what you do best. Make your Last of Us, you know, your Horizons, your Spider-Mans, your God of Wars, whatever. Stay on that path.
Yeah.
And make really good games.
Yeah.
You know, not these freaking online things.
Yeah. 400 million.
Yeah.
It's still a story that I love. $400 million to build that game for 25,000 people.
It is terrible.
It's terrible.
Really bad.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about, Andy.
Oh.
I don't even know how we got there.
No
talking
idea.
about PlayStation so much because actually we're talking about Xbox
today.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hello, everyone. This is your Xbox podcast.
Not really just Xbox. I wanted to dig in, following on from Phil Spencer's random shadow drop announcement that Xbox are working on a handheld, confirming the rumours, and kind of look forward and ask the question, would an Xbox handheld kill the Steam Deck?
Wow.
And I know that that's clickbait.
Yes.
I know that's hyperbole in general, because obviously it won't kill the Steam Deck.
No.
Neither of them are alive.
No, yeah, there you go. There's your answer. We'll see you next week.
But they offer very different things.
Yes.
But I think the point is the Steam Deck was a solution to the problem for console gamers.
Yeah.
Wanting to play something handheld that's decent.
Yeah.
Without any of the friction that you get from the PC space. They just want a simple console-like experience. And the Steam Deck has offered that up to this point.
I think that's a byproduct, though.
I think that's an accident.
Yes.
That's interesting.
I think your phrase is completely correct, but remove console gamers to PC gamers.
Oh, so it's the other way round.
Yes. Yeah. It was Steam... Valve's solution
I follow you now
for PC gamers that wanted to play good PC games on the go.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the console gamers. They were making it for their already built up clientele.
Yeah, because in truth, the Steam Deck, and the reason I didn't actually jump in to buy one, it was reliant on you having a Steam library.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, if not, and this is the reason I didn't, was coming from a console experience, I'd have to rebuy all the games I like or start a Steam library from scratch.
Yes.
That's going to be quite expensive. Even how good value the games are on Steam.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite expensive
Yeah.
But if you came from PC, I follow you now.
Yes.
You've already got your Steam library.
Yeah, they saw the Switch and everything like that, and all these really random like PC handhelds that were
Neos
crazy expensive and really janky, you know, and went, we can do that better. So they just so happened to use Linux and make it a console-like experience and serve the PC side so well that then certain side or percentage of console gamers started like drifting over, you know. It was like a lamp to a moth or whatever. You know? It was like, you know, so and it pulled console gamers to it for the ability to play really good games handheld.
Yes.
And I think that was the byproduct.
And offer, the byproduct was that it offered console gamers a great handheld experience.
Yeah, an easy foot into PC world.
And there's still nothing that sits in that space as well as the Steam Deck.
No, and I think that will forever hold the crown.
And now my question is, now we know Xbox are definitely working on a handheld, will it sit in that space?
Wow.
And so does that then affect Steam in general? Steam Deck in general, sorry.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because we know how many people have Xboxes, how many people have PlayStations. There's no real way of seeing how many people have PCs.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
I mean, you could go by Steam user accounts, but there's probably a large percentage of people still on PC that don't use Steam. I know it is the monopoly, really, but there will still be people that don't agree with them, that just use Epic Game Store, that just uses Uplay Launcher or Blizzard or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like they might stay away from Steam for one reason or the other. So there's going to be a massive percentage of people that are on PC, and then you've got a massive percentage of people that are on console. And I feel like they'll be able to live side by side, but it might be a hard push for...
I think it's a hard sell for PC gamers.
Yeah.
The Xbox handheld.
Yeah, unless you just want a Game Pass machine.
I suppose the first part is the price point's going to be really important.
That's the biggest thing.
Now, in his like random shadow drop, let's be honest, it was the most weird announcement that they're doing something. Why say anything at all?
Yeah, why
let the rumors fester?
Hold it to your chest, and then come out in a couple of years.
To kind of reconfirm what he said that it is something that they are actively working on, that they're prototyping at the moment, trying to figure out what the machine could do best, but also looking at the marketplace as well. So they know what works and what doesn't, and so they know where they're gonna aim it at. It's a hard sell for PC gamers because it's just going to be an Xbox machine. Just a Game Pass machine, I should say.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it?
So the price point's going to be, I'll get to the point, the price point is the really important thing. So they're looking at the market.
Yeah.
And it's Xbox, so you know the price is going to be keen.
Yes.
So it's going to be in the Steam Deck territory rather than like the Lenovo and Asus.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be within Steam Deck budget for sure, you know, because that's a really competitive price point.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of 450 mark, let's call it that.
But in order to sit in that price point, it does mean it has to be slightly underpowered for whenever it's released.
Yes.
It's going to be using slightly older hardware to make it price competitive.
Yeah, definitely. But I think because they're cooking it, that's going to be a win. Because let's say it's 2 or 3 years' time, it's maybe they choose an APU that's not even out yet, that's like a year away, that's going to be even less power, but for more performance, you know, and then it might have better upscaling capabilities. So it might still be very capable.
Yeah, I think it will be for certain. But I guess the point is that in order to know if it's going to be a win or not, for me personally, it's a win. I love the idea of it.
Yeah.
But for the market in general, to know if it's going to be a win or not, you need to know how many console gamers want a handheld experience.
Yes.
Because we know the PC appetite's there. But how many console gamers want to step up?
I suppose they can just spy on Sony, can't they? Because
how successful the Portal was.
Because that's not even a console; it's just a controller with a screen on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so that apparently is sold out everywhere, according to Sony. Like, sells really well.
I don't know what the sales figures are yet. I don't think they've actually announced.
They sold all 10 that they've made.
Give Sony credit. 65 million PS5s are sold, and the PS5 Pro is outsold the PS5 4 Pro. For the same
PS5 4 Pro.
PS5 4 Pro for the same time period.
Wow. Yeah.
65 million PS5s is...
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot for the halfway point.
I would say the port was done really well.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the PlayStation land, that's going to be an awesome accessory. What am I trying to say? It's going to be an awesome accessory.
Yeah.
There we go.
True.
So I think Microsoft had looked there.
Yeah.
They're like sat on the fence going, Sony, what are you doing there?
Sony have done something interesting. Look at the Switch. The Switch has been massively successful.
Yes.
And obviously they're competing with the console landscape. They're not competing with the PC landscape.
Yes. Yeah.
But they've seen the success of PC handhelds.
Oh, they'll be watching because they're Microsoft,
And they're hands-on. They got numbers.
They even said that in the meantime, we're going to be focusing and working on having Windows work better on these handhelds.
Yes.
So they're already going to be... They're basically trying to pave the way for their Xbox handheld. They're like,
it's clever.
Yeah, it's very clever. Yeah.
So they've got a testing ground for the whole thing.
And there's nothing to stop it being like a dual boot thing where it comes with Windows or something, like a Steam Deck where it boots into Steam OS, but maybe
could you imagine Xbox doing that though?
Maybe. Or maybe it would have like a drive in it that you could flash Windows onto.
That's probably likely.
Something like that. I don't think they're going to lock it down like an Android machine. You know what I mean?
No.
I feel like it's still going to be a PC, but maybe just with an Xbox coat of paint.
Yeah, I'm there for that. He did say one of the only tangible thing he said from it is that of the importance of being able to play the games locally.
Yeah.
Which was thank God for that.
Yes, yeah.
Because 100%, the reason why the PC handhelds are so successful is that they are mobile gaming machines. They are like hardcore computers in your hand. They're
Miles
not
Morales, 60 FPS.
Exactly. They're not the Portal, so they don't rely on an internet connection. No. They're not streaming off your other device because we can already do that with remote play.
Yes. Yeah, you can just do it to your phone.
You do it to your phone, do it to your tablet. It already exists. Get a controller, get a backbone.
Yeah.
It's the same as the Portal. So being able to play locally is absolutely the key to success. Performance, price, and playing the games locally.
Yes.
All the key things.
Yeah. And I really do think with the way that the APU tech is going here, because they said they're going to wait, there's no time on this. I reckon we're like 3 years out. So in that 3 years, those APUs are going to be way better, way cheaper, So I think the price point's going to stay in a good place. It's not going to be silly money.
No.
Because they wouldn't do that because they wouldn't get enough sales. But, I think it will sit nicely alongside their next-gen Xbox. It does seem to put the rumours to rest of the rumours that we pretty much started.
It was us that started it.
The hybrid Xbox console. So I think they're going to be releasing their next-gen Xbox before this.
I was going to ask you about that time frame.
And then I think we'll see the handheld come as maybe a 1 year later or something, like a not an accessory, but alongside. Do you know what I mean?
So there was a lot of kind of talk that this Xbox generation is going to end early.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So, there were some rumors that we're going to hear about it next year.
I reckon we'll hear about it next year for a 2026 release.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll hear about the handheld in late 2026 for a 27 release.
That would be interesting. So what does that put us, 3 years off? That feels like it's too slow to capitalize on the movement.
It does, but it gives it time for the APUs to catch up, become more affordable with better performance. It gives them time to fix Windows on handhelds and learn from all the other handhelds that are going to be popping up in those couple of years. But maybe we're wrong. Maybe we see it launch alongside the Xbox, next gen in 2026.
I think to properly capitalize on it, it's kind of imperative that it comes out in quicker than a 3-year time frame.
Yeah.
I say that because people start getting ingrained into systems.
Yeah, I get you.
So the console gamers that will start transitioning over to the Steam Deck will start getting ingrained into the Steam Deck ecosystems.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the ones that are a bit more adventurous, got a bigger wallet or whatever, will start moving over to like the Lenovo and the Asus, and will start getting ingrained into PC gaming more.
Yeah.
And once you're into an ecosystem, it's very difficult. There's not many people that are like multi-platform.
Yeah, straddling, yeah. But then at the same point, you know, there's probably more people that stick with Xbox because of the price point, the affordability there, like versus PC.
Yes.
And they're probably looking at all these handheld PCs and stuff thinking, that's awesome, but I can't be bothered with that, or it's too expensive, you know, and they're just waiting it out. I'd say the majority of console gamers probably don't give a flying monkey about PC.
They don't even notice it.
No. Do you know what I mean? So
well, there's so many people that I speak to, like in real life about gaming, that maybe watch this podcast or whatever, will go like, what is... I remember my brother's a really good example of it. Really into gaming, very much a PlayStation player.
Yeah.
It's like asking me, so what is this Asus ROG Ally? Like, what is it? So and I'm like showing it to him.
Yes.
Just because it's not in their space, they just don't act.
No.
And rightly so. There's no reason for them to notice what's going on in the PC space.
No, not at all. It's kind of like you've got to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and if it's not like in Tesco or like a supermarket, like on the shelf, is it? Do you know what I mean? Well, like a PlayStation would be. I don't even know if supermarkets here still sell gaming consoles.
I think some do.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like most people know what a PlayStation is, what an Xbox is, or what a Nintendo is.
They do have that advantage. For
whereas PC gaming, so many people just don't know about it. And we're in it. Do you know what I mean? We're aware of everything because this is what we do.
Yeah.
Whereas most people aren't. They're just like, I love gaming. And they just know the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or something like that. Or they could just be an Xbox diehard and just go, oh, I'd love a handheld one day, and not even know that Phil Spencer's said this.
Yeah, very true.
You know?
Very true. It's for the diehards that question all these things, isn't it?
Yeah.
The diehards that are like, well, actually, there'll be a second generation Steam Deck by that point.
Yeah.
There'll definitely be a second generation ROG Ally,
absolutely,
whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
They'll all exist, and they'll be better, and they will have taken more players over. I do worry about that ecosystem thing.
Yes.
The ones that have jumped over from console, specifically into Steam.
Yeah, and I agree. There's going to be a percentage there. Yeah. It's probably a tiny percentage.
Yeah.
They probably don't care.
And in truth, what is the success rate even of the Steam Deck? I know it's an amazing machine.
Yeah.
And those that have gone out into it fully love it.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Like if you zoom out and go like, how many units did it sold? I think it's like, is it 3 million, 4 million?
I'm not too sure.
How many has it actually sold compared to some of the consoles?
Yeah.
Just saying, PS5, 65 million.
Yeah, it'd be tiny numbers compared.
Yeah, so like, I guess that's the other thing as well. Like, how worthy is it for them to even do it?
I think it will sell really well for Xbox. It's one thing that I've always been the handheld lover ever since I was a kid.
He's a handheld lover.
Yep. And I always had the Xbox from when it was launched, you know, the original. And I always wanted to see it. When PSP came out, I bought that straight away. I imported it from Japan. I loved it, you know. And I was like, what's Xbox going to do?
They've got to do something.
They're going to do something. And I was waiting for it. I was like, I'm ready to buy it. Because I was like, console, you know, as a younger kid. And I was like, yes. Like, and then never happened. PS Vita came out. I was like, it's now Xbox's time. Never happened.
Yeah.
Then they all died. It just stayed with Nintendo with the 3DS. Then the Switch came out. And I thought, that's the end of handhelds. I genuinely thought even Nintendo have ditched their handhelds.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just giving you a kind of handheld and a console, but it's the console. Do you know what I mean? But little did I know it was going to like swing the opposite way and revamp the handheld space.
It's a weird kind of barren period, isn't it? When you actually consider it, we talk about like this emergence of PC handhelds and how amazing it is, but in truth, like handheld gaming, when you go back 15 years, was everywhere.
Yes,
like all the major players had handheld, and you had like the Vita and the PSP, like you say, and Nintendo had the DSs. Like, they existed. It's funny that this generation has just really had nothing up to this point.
Yes,
and like the main players still aren't. I don't count the Portal as being part in this landscape.
It's not in there. It's
an
controller.
Accessory for your PS5.
Yes,
it's interesting that both PlayStation and Xbox haven't ventured into it.
No,
and what's more interesting is that Nintendo attribute the success of the Switch to being a handheld and hybrid system.
Yeah, without the Switch, we wouldn't have a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have a ROG Ally. I fully believe that.
I believe that too.
All off the back of the Switch, because it showed that you could have a console experience on the go. It wasn't this janky like
Fisher Price version.
Yeah, exactly. Which was always the case.
Yeah,
you know. So I think Xbox have done the right move by holding off the past 20 years, and then when they do actually release, that's going to be the big thing. Everyone will be talking about it. Because all the people like us that are into gaming, like really into gaming and look at the news and everything, or straddle PC land, Steam Deck come out, it's like, wow, yeah. Like, and we're all like, woohoo, you know? But imagine that like tenfold when Xbox do it. And if they get in before PlayStation do one, then they're going to real make moves. You'll probably see a lot of PlayStation people go, actually,
this is quite cool.
I'll get an Xbox handheld and just run Game Pass.
Just run Game Pass on it, which is 100% what would be a winning move, because you've just got a Game Pass machine.
That's all you use the Ally for.
Yes, it's all I use the Ally for. And that's why I'm excited about the idea of an Xbox handheld.
But that's what I mean. Like the Xbox handheld would be better suited for
100%, yeah.
You know, because it would be cheaper. You
know the operating system's going to be locked down for the most part. Yeah. So I won't have to worry about...
be that Steam-like experience or the Switch-like experience.
So I guess the question really is, if it launched today, at what price point is it a no-go?
A no-go?
What's the ceiling for
600, I reckon, is way too much.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree, because that's firmly in... I say that, but the Steam Deck... 1 terabyte OLED's that much.
Yeah, well, Steam Deck's OLED starts at 480 here in the UK.
But like, the top end one.
The top end is
six. I think it's 599 maybe.
I don't actually remember what the top end was.
In dollars, I know it's 649.
Yeah, not sure. But it starts at 480 and goes up to that almost 700.
Yeah, if it came in at £400, I think that's a.
I think it might, you know, but we know the Switch 2 is going to be out by then.
Yeah.
And the Switch 2 is totally going to be 400 or over.
Yeah.
Like, because the Switch OLED launched at what, 320 or 340, something like
320,
that.
I think.
You know, here in the UK, we're talking pounds here, not dollars. So, you know, 320... the Switch 2 is definitely going to be 399 or 450. I fully believe that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Which then it's Xbox's move 1 or 2 years later, you know? So I think we'll probably be sitting at 500 because it's going to have to be more powerful than the Switch 2 to be able to run all these Game Pass machine games.
Yeah. And I suppose then you beg the question, what's the equivalence in power? I hate these comparisons.
Yeah.
When they're like talking about, like, Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a portable PS4 power, it's a comparison that doesn't make any sense in that sense. But you know, to play into the game, are we talking like a handheld Series S? Yeah.
I reckon the Xbox handheld will be the equivalent power of the current Ally X, or Ally, and then. It will be a cheaper price point. It will probably be better because, like I said, APUs are going to get more efficient.
Dude, we're seeing, we talk about the same performance as the Ally X. There's the Ally Z1 Extreme, which is the same processor, is currently £400
$399 on sale, yeah.
That blows my mind itself.
Yeah, it's crazy cheap.
So actually what we're suggesting is you could be at the £400 price point and get that performance.
Yeah.
And it not be crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
You just put an Xbox logo on it.
Exactly.
And a new operating system.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. If they took the Ally X kind of like how good the battery is and everything, which is currently 800.
Yes.
You know, in a couple of years' time, they can probably get the equivalent, maybe a little bit better performance for like 400, maybe 500.
Yeah.
You know, with an Xbox stamp of approval, with a custom OS on there, which is getting rid of all the jank, which will probably squeeze more performance anyway.
Yeah, you would hope so.
So all that kind of stuff rolled in. Obviously, it's going to be newer. I do think it will be better.
Yeah.
You know, in a couple of years, but who knows? I don't know.
It's exciting. It's genuinely exciting.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed that they've dropped the news of it in such a weird kind of like a envelope under your door kind of way. It's
they were so nonchalant about it.
Yeah,
They're just
Phil Spencer's just like, he was asked a question and rather than indirectly answering, it's like, well, it's obviously something we're thinking about. We're prototyping at the moment. Why are you saying this, dude? Just shut up.
He's so transparent, though, aren't they? Like, Xbox are very transparent.
You've got to... The two best things about Xbox is that they tell you what's going to happen.
Yes.
And that they release their games on Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
But they don't hide it. So you don't get that horrible thing with PlayStation Plus where you buy a game for £70
and then next week
6 months,
it's free.
Yeah, it's free. They don't do that. They just tell you, look, it's going to be on Game Pass, so you might as well just not buy it.
Yeah.
Just have a Game Pass subscription.
Yes.
And long may that last.
Yes. But, I'm very excited for them to finally enter into the space.
Yeah.
And I think it will really do well because it will be aiming the headlights at the console players and not the PC people.
Yes, definitely that. Just to finish up on the Xbox thing, he did also say that there's no red line on what games could be ported to other platforms.
Oh, yes, that's true, yeah.
And obviously that's partly because their market share is not very good and they've spent so much on acquiring these studios and developing the games inside them. They need a larger player base for that to make sense. But it also, this is something that's quite smart about it. It also serves as a really good advert for Game Pass.
Yes. Yes.
Because, you could buy Indiana Jones for £70 when it releases next year.
On PlayStation.
On PlayStation. Or you can buy it, you have it a couple of months earlier for free on Game Pass.
Yes.
It's actually a really good advert for Game Pass.
Absolutely. I mean, even Black Ops.
I mean, yeah.
You could buy this every year for close to £100 a year, or you could just pay for Game Pass and get all sorts of games
and play it on the go on your Xbox handheld.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they'll ever overtake PlayStation in the market share side of things, especially not in Europe anyway.
No,
that's too well ingrained.
Yes, yeah.
But I think these things will serve them well in the future.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the idea of an Xbox handheld gets me excited.
I'm really excited about it.
I don't think it will kill the Steam Deck like the title suggests.
No, I don't think so.
I think you're absolutely right in the sense that the Steam Deck points itself at PC players.
Yes.
And an Xbox handheld will sit next to it but point itself at the console players.
Yes. Yeah, they'll be like back to back.
And what's great for us as gamers is that you can now have this choice.
Yes. You're not then forced to spend ludicrous money on, let's say, an Ally X that you're not really using to its full potential because you just use it as a Game Pass machine. Whereas you could have an Xbox handheld that is the Game Pass machine at like half the price, let's say. Yeah. And that just makes more sense.
Loads more sense.
And having choice and competition breeds more creativity within that space. So we'll see even better handhelds, like different sort of ideas, and maybe see Sony re-enter the game.
That's exactly where my head just went as well. Like it wouldn't take long for the Xbox to be successful for PlayStation to step in and go, we need in on this.
I'd be dubious of Sony.
Really?
Yeah.
They're very good at abandoning things.
And look at what they've done with the Vita.
Yes.
That was phenomenal. It had an OLED screen in 2011.
It doesn't even make sense.
2011. Like, it was fantastic, and they just killed it. I mean, they killed it themselves before they even released it with the stupid stuff that they did with all the proprietary things. Yeah. But, it was a fantastic machine that could have been amazing, like the PSP, which was silly in itself. The PSP had a freaking disk drive. Yeah. On the handheld. Like, what?
So it's just a bus journey's ruining that experience.
But that was still phenomenal. Yeah. But they had the Vita and it could have been incredible, and they just literally pulled the plug. And then there's been other stuff that I feel like, even dare I say it, like PSVR.
Oh,
they've kind of went, look at this. And everyone went, I'm not paying like £20 million for that. And they went, oh, no one's buying it. Let's just not bother with it anymore. And they've just kind of like let it drift around, and it's still there.
It's still there.
Is it?
They opened it up to PC to try and get more players in.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but you could just buy an Oculus Quest, which is cheaper, and it still works on PC. So, do you know what I mean? I'm a bit like skeptical with how Sony would play it. It'd have to be something very, very good to make me. I mean, I'd probably buy it anyway, but do you know what I mean? But do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what they could do that would just win straight away is the portal that could cloud stream. And I know that's not solving the solution of being able to play games locally and all the rest of it, but if you could stream PlayStation games onto it,
that would make
from
it
a server,
more of a win.
Yeah.
But it still suck.
It would still suck, yeah, but that feels like a more PlayStation move.
What I think they should do is they've started growing PlayStation PC, right? So you've got PlayStation and PlayStation Plus, and PlayStation whatever the hell they call it. Then you've got PlayStation PC, which is becoming a big thing. Like, I love it. We did a whole podcast on it being PlayStation's biggest asset.
Amazing, yeah.
You have mentioned time and time and again that there was rumors of a dedicated PlayStation launcher.
I think I made the rumors up.
Well, okay, yeah, cool. Insider knowledge.
Yeah.
So imagine if they created this PlayStation PC launcher, which everyone would hate because they don't want the PlayStation thing. But what if they did what Xbox do with Play Anywhere, where you buy the game once on Xbox and it's also your PC copy?
Yeah.
Imagine if they do that with PlayStation, where you buy the game on PlayStation and then it gives you access to PlayStation PC on their launcher. Now you've basically created a real PlayStation handheld with all the PC sides.
I guess the reluctance for the PlayStation PlayStation launcher thing is requiring PC players to have a PlayStation network account.
Yes, that's
and I know
exactly
that was a bit of backlash.
Massive problem with that, yeah.
Helldivers 2, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was a big problem.
Yeah.
So I guess that's maybe their reluctance. They saw the blowback from that and were like, maybe step back from it.
Yeah, but they're still doing it.
They're still forcing it.
Yeah. The same with like Spider-Man 2. It's not out until next month, January. But that's still, they've already said like, yeah, that's going to have a PlayStation launcher on it. Like they're just
so you're going to have a PSN.
Yeah. So it's here already. So just why don't they lean into it even more?
Yeah. Yeah, in that case, then just lean into it.
You know, imagine if all the PC players that have bought all these PlayStation games, imagine if it was linked and you also now owned a copy on PlayStation. They would probably sell more PlayStation 5 Pros.
Maybe. They would definitely sell more handhelds if they had one.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do let us know.
Yes.
Will the Xbox handheld kill the Steam Deck?
Ooh.
And I know that's going to loads of hate. But just know it. It's all right. You can disagree with us. It's fine. I like it when you disagree with us, actually. Just, be gentle because we are delicate. And whilst you're down there digging around, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
If you're in podcast land, hello.
Yes.
I hope your ears have enjoyed this.
Yes.
Make sure you rate the show before you leave because it does really help us out.
It does, yeah.
More than you know. Come on, just do it now. What do you think about it?
And we might be able to have a heating on next episode.
I could take my jumper off. It's so very cold. Yeah. If you're in YouTube land, what else should they do, Andy?
They should, I was going to say subscribe. So, yes, do that, obviously.
Do that,
But subscribe to a membership. Yes. Do that as well.
It's just 99p. You get to join us in Discord and watch these podcasts early when we remember. Sometimes we forget.
Yes.
We're only human.
Yes.
We're often wrong too.
Yes, we are delusional.
Yes. Before you go off anywhere else, watch another video from us here, smashed between our faces.
Do it.
We will, of course, see you the same time next time.
Indeed. Bye.
Bye. Oh, wow, we did that in unison.
I know, it's good, wasn't it?